I'm Spencer.
And I'm late to the party.
And this is The Itch. We're here to review
Hotline
Miami.
Told you I was late to the party. I'll be kicking off this review. Thank you very much. We know how much Spencer loves his indie games, and anyway, so let's get started here. First things first, on the realist. Miami. As far as experience with the game from Hotline Miami, I actually played it on the PS4. I've had enough. I beat the game 100%. Or not 100%. I beat the game. There's some extra stuff to do here and there. I ran through it and I was like, I figured do a review for it. The game itself takes roughly, if you're quicker, you're looking at 4 hours. If you're a little bit on the slower end, probably like 6 if I had to guesstimate. It's a relatively short game, pretty simple. It's the first one I've run through. I have not played the second one yet. I'm working on getting it and just running through it and giving you guys a great review on that one. Story-wise, the setting, it's set in the late 1980s in Miami.
Miami.
And as far as I know, Hotline Miami. Could confuse me. Could be in Pittsburgh or something.
Yeah.
Or Germany. Well, I mean, fuck, with how many Russians you kill, it feels like Russia. But essentially the story is told by these just disjointed sequences in which your character wakes up, gives you a date, gives you, time and all that stuff, and then you receive a phone call or a message on your answering machine, and someone's like, they give you like really inconspicuous kind of messages where they're like, hey, you forgot to pick up your dry cleaning at 9 o'clock. Oh, don't forget, it's on 15th and, Thunder Road or something like that. And you're like, road. Okay, so then you go there and then it's actually your character's like, puts on a mask and fucks everything up.
Dang.
That's the way the story goes. It's for anyone who's ever seen any action flicks, like super violent action flicks in which the main character just survives all these crazy odds, maybe gets shot, and then, fucks up, 5 or 8 guys. That's what you're essentially playing. You're playing every Bruce Willis action movie, every Die Hard, you're playing every Arnold Schwarzenegger shoot 'em up. That's what it is. So, it's kind of cool.
Wow.
Yeah. The interesting thing is the disjointed sequences bring this sense of confusion, which the game later plays on. Later on in the game where you're just like, oh, hey, what am I doing now, right? And suddenly you're like, where the flip am I? Or who are these people? Or whatever the case is. So it's really nice the way the story works to confuse the player and add that level of immersion. It plays like a top-down, kill everything kind of thing. If you played like Smash TV, it's that perspective and with that concept where you're just, hey, kill everything now. So that's kind of interesting. As far as doing anything differently, it's really fast. It's really incredibly fast. In the beginning, it starts off relatively simple: beat up this guy, get his weapon, kill this guy, get his weapon, kill this guy, and then it graduates to walk into a room, beat this guy, throw your bat at this guy, and then pick up this guy's shotgun and shoot the other guy, type stuff. So you really have to multitask or whatever, and choose how you're gonna kill people, because a lot of times you'll be like, it works the checkpoint, it works off a checkpoint system, so you clear a floor and then that's that entire floor. You can kill everyone but the last guy, and if that last guy kills you, you restart at that floor. So it works like that. And then there's this kind of option that they have in the game. In addition to using all these different weapons, you can use different masks at the start of a mission. You can be like, oh, this mask makes dogs like me.
Really?
Yeah, or this mask allows me to run faster. My guns don't make a noise. I start off with a dagger, stuff like that. So some of them are really helpful.
Maybe taking some cues from Majora's Mask.
So anyway, how does the game stand visually? Well, it's top down, like I said. It's 16-bit. You're used to just seeing
that Super Nintendo era. And apparently some people say that there's a Sega console that is comparable to that, but I can't imagine blast processing ever achieving anything. So
wow. Anyway, so it has 16-bit visuals or 32-bit if you get the 32X. And there's tons of gore. There's a lot of, there's not really too much like dialogue that people say. It's just a lot of like, you know, beat this guy over the head, run, kill this guy, whatever. Blood. At the end of the mission, when you're clearing out and you're going back down to your car, it's just gore everywhere. Everyone's dead everywhere. And I'm not gonna lie, I never noticed the gore until after I complete the mission. I'm like, I killed everybody. You know? Musical direction, the music, it's kind of interesting. The music goes from a weird kind of like retro, electronic synth kind of thing, and then transfers to some more like Miami 1980s, 1970s music, which is really interesting. So it's definitely fitting.
Did you say Miami is like Will Smith's Welcome to Miami?
It's really interesting. It's really interesting how the game does fit together. As far as the musical direction, though, it's really nice. Will Smith is in the album, so that's nice. Feels like an arcade at the end of the day. Feels like you're like, you know, so that's cool.
Parents just don't understand.
They don't. Sound design wise, you're hearing a bunch of thumping, hearing a bunch of people getting their faces punched, hearing some slicing of the throats, some gunshots, perhaps. Yeah, gunshot, you know, slicing, and you know, there's some visceral noises, like if you like break someone's head open or whatever, which, you know, the game can get pretty violent. You know, you're like, ooh, watermelon. So, surfboard. But as far as pros and cons of the game itself, it's a great soundtrack. It's actually really nice. I was actually reading the comments from like some people talking about the soundtrack on YouTube, and they're like, "Oh, it's a great soundtrack when you're high," and I'm just like, "Well, don't do drugs, kids."
But you should when you play Hotline Miami. Oh no?
No.
Don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs. Don't do drugs. Hotline Miami, drugs. But we're all straight edges over here.
Yeah. Straight edge, you know, that's what I'm all about.
Sure. So, straight edge.
Where's my beer?
It has addictive gameplay. I'm not gonna lie. I think I was on like mission 8 or 7, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna keep playing. And then I got to like mission 9. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning. And I was like, I'm gonna keep playing. It was pretty bad, to my detriment. So obviously it has that going for it. It's very fast paced, requires you to think and to pay attention about who's in the next room, how you can take them out, formations, character formations, and stuff like that. There's an arcade style presentation, which is definitely a plus. On the downside, the gore and the violence may turn some players off. I did not know this was a thing, but there are people who will not touch games if it is too violent. I
personally don't enjoy gore.
Really?
I don't hate it.
Right under my nose.
I don't hate it, and I'm not, because I played The Last of Us, so I'm not completely opposed to gore. But
if it serves a purpose,
right? The gore has to make sense artistically, because you know, I'm all about artistic. Quality.
So Mortal Kombat just does not do it for you.
It disgusts me.
Wow.
And you do too if you play it.
Right. Yeah. So the story's a bit harder for people, as it's not pieced together for you. Well, I mean, it kind of is and isn't. You have to do your own research and kind of figure it out, or you could just go to the wiki. But as far as just the story itself, it's because it's so disjointed. You're not really knowing what part's an hallucination, what part's real, and stuff like that. Because this guy legit has problems that is addressed in the story, but you don't know to what extent he has these problems or whatever. It's a bit short. Me personally, I got through the game really quick, and I was just like, man. But that's what sequels are for, you know. And there's the sequel, Hotline Miami 2, which I know very little about.
Everyone says it's pretty good. I think the message I got is kind of like the first one. Maybe we'll end up playing it at some point and reviewing it.
Oh, what?
For the Itchinites out there.
I'm Justin. He's Spencer. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Would you recommend the game to everybody?
Oh, shit! Would I recommend it? Yeah. Oh, golly gee willikers, I would. It's low commitment arcade game with a bit of a pull. So you're gonna find yourself playing it, picking it up, running through it, at least playing like 2 or 3 levels, something like that, and forcing someone to pry it off your hands before you give it up, because it is that fun. It's very fun to just run into an area and just annihilate everybody.
Sounds good. How much does it normally retail for?
I believe right now it's cheap. I think it was $5 for me.
Okay.
PlayStation Network was like having a deal on it. I think the deal's over. So I have to pay full price for Hotline Miami 2.
Is it worth it?
Yeah, yes, it is. For $5. I mean, and I don't know what its full retail price is, but it's like $15. It's not too bad.
Okay.
I mean, people pay that much for Destiny DLC, and hey, that's fine with them. Yeah,
shots fired.
Right.
I'm Spencer.
Wait, hold on. I still got more.
What?
It's got speedrun, replay value.
Oh, gotcha.
God, he's just trying to get me off, man. He's just trying to get me off. And it has intense gameplay, which is really like in your face, kind of like, bam, you just bust that guy's head off, like, what you gonna do now? You know, type stuff. So it's very easy to get into, very fun. And so I would recommend it to you guys if you're above the age of 18.
And you do drugs.
And you don't do drugs.
Don't do drugs
Never.
when you play it.
Don't do drugs unless you do drugs.
Right.
Then you don't do the drugs you did.
Well, I'm Spencer.
And I'm drugs.
And this is The Itch. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Sega sucks. Make sure to check us out on This is The Itch on Twitch.
And we're partnered with Nintendo. No, we're not, because they're money-grabbing whores. Thanks for watching. We do new videos every week. Bye.